Hello and welcome back to Chase Payne Podcast. We have another Arnold's Fitness Games series for you today. This is episode 3. I'm sponsored by VXS Gymwear. Visit the website, check out their outstanding gymwear and get 10% off using code DARC, D-A-R-C with capital letters. Been really enjoying doing these podcasts. I'm very excited about today's one. So I'm going to introduce each athlete. Let's start off with Curtis. Curtis, pal, please introduce who you are and where you're from, pal.
Hello, I'm Curtis Dixon. I train at CrossFit Pontefract, which is in Yorkshire, near Leeds. I'm competing at the Arnolds in the 35 to 39 Masters, and I qualified first.
Happy days. Champion right there. Future champion. Fantastic, dude. And did you say that was the RX division?
Yeah, RX Masters. So we basically do the same as the elites do.
We'll go next to Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily. So I train at my own gym. So it's called 11 Athletic. And then I think I've qualified 9th in the RX division.
Oh, fantastic. Superb. Top 10. That's a
sorry
superb
about
achievement.
that.
And that's okay.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi just keeps going in and out. But it's sorted now. Sorry.
That's okay, Curtis. Never a problem, mate. These things happen. That's what happens on podcasts. Don't worry about it. And Aaron, just share a bit about yourself, mate.
Hi, I'm Aaron. So I'm from Chester, train out of CrossFit Chester. I'm in the open division in the RX, and I'm not 100% sure where I qualified. But as long as I got qualified, I was happy being in. So probably near the bottom.
I think that says probably quite a lot about your personality that you don't know where you qualified. I've never asked anyone that question and they're like, I don't really know. Everyone's usually like, yeah, I qualified in this position. I come this place in this workout. You seem like quite a laid back character. And I'll be interested later to find out whether that carries over into how you attack a workout. That'd be quite interesting because personalities usually represents how people attack workouts. Did you guys see today, if you've been on Instagram, that the Arnold Fitness Games have announced they're going to release the workouts on the 16th, so Monday next week? Are you all aware of this? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're not doing it like day by day. So there's one per day.
They're going to release one workout per day. That's right. Yeah, and I
like
think
that.
I like that. I think that's 4 to 5. I think 5 workouts.
I think they said 5 workouts. Yeah.
Everyone's got to do that final workout. Oh man, good value for money, right?
Yeah.
Depends what the workout is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to come to you first, Curtis. Are you one of those guys that will wait for that workout, and when that workout comes out on Monday, will you be like, right, I'm going to go and try it. I'm going to test it. Is that the kind of character you are, or are you not bothered?
Yeah. Well, like you said, if they're releasing one a day through the week, if they come out soon enough, I will run them through all the way, like give it a good effort. But say they release them a few days before, then there's no chance. I'm practicing some of the movements, not any intensity, anything like that. But yeah, if it's that far in advance, I'll usually give it a good crack.
Yeah, fair one. Emily, how about you? Do you look at a workout and go, so that gets released on Monday, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go and try that, or do you just stick it in an e-mom and just go through the movements? How do you look at that?
So I'm normally pretty good at looking at a workout and knowing how I'm going to do anyway. So depending on the style of workout, say it's an AMRAP, I'll just go for 1 or 2 rounds for the X amount of time. I won't do the whole thing because otherwise it will stress me out more because I'll know exactly what I've done. If I've just got a little idea, then that's what I'll go with.
And sometimes we can attempt a workout before we go to a live event, and you can be like, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. Either you've gone too fast or you didn't get what you wanted to get, and it can actually have that negative effect sometimes. Aaron, how do you deal with it? I'm guessing you don't really care. Quite laid back. I don't know where I came.
No, it's not that I don't care. It obviously depends on what the workout is. If it's something I've never done before, what I have done before is EMOM'd it. So I've just gone through each different exercise, maybe choose some reps, EMOM it just to get a bit of an idea of how intense you should be going. Well, I'm expecting some fairly regular exercises to come up. So Maybe depends which one they are. If I feel like I need a bit of a guidance on how to pace the workout, I'll do it. Reluctantly sometimes.
Did any of you guys compete 2 years ago?
So I say that one again.
Did anyone compete 2 years ago at the last Arnold's?
I wasn't there. No.
Yeah, I
No?
did it on a team
Emily?
of 4, me and 3 other lads from our gym.
Thanks. The workouts 2 years ago, I practiced one of them before I went up there, and I regretted doing it. It was an echo bike workout. It was the first workout, and it was horrendous. You know, when you do it, you're like, I don't ever want to do it again. But you know, you got to do it a week later in the competition. Yeah, it's just one of them things. I guess depends on personality and what you want to achieve with it. Is there anything, Curtis, you don't want to see at the Arnold's?
Well, just because of my lack of shoulder mobility, maybe anything heavy, snatch, any overhead squats, anything like that. I'm pretty comfortable with everything else. It's just the snatch grip. It's not good for me. It's a bit of a joke in our gym that I'm terrible at it. But yeah, like anything else, I'm pretty looking forward to. But yeah, snatches.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you on that. That's what I struggled with today. My training session was horrendous. Emily, what about yourself? Is there anything, if you could say, right, Rick, you can't program this, what would it be?
It would be echo bike. Take that out any day. Everything else I'm cool with.
Yeah, the echo bike is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I thought it'd be a good idea buying one 4 years ago, just to try and get used to it. It doesn't get any easier.
Just collects dust.
Aaron, if you had the choice that you could program something, so you 100% could have it there, what would you have?
Maybe I'll just be a bit mean, but I'll definitely have an echo bike and snatches in there. Those were 2 favorite exercises. I think that's a really
Absolutely
good
love that.
test of capacity and skill. So they'll definitely do that.
Love that. Well, it sounds to me, well, actually, would you want that as a sprint or as a kind of more of a longer workout? He doesn't care. Just give it to me.
No,
It's just not bothered.
Bring it on. No, it's gonna be hard either way. You're gonna have to work hard. So,
Aaron, have you ever done the 50 cal echo bike challenge?
not the 50 cal specifically, but I've done 1 minute and 2 minute sprints before, so it's a similar kind of sprint domain, and yeah, they're hellish.
Yeah, they certainly are. Yeah, I've not done the 50 cal either. I've only done 30 cals a few times before, but never the 50. But I will do soon. Curtis, have you done the 50 cal challenge before?
No, not on the echo bike. I've done a 50 cal on the row. On the echo bike, I've done 5 minute max calories, 10-minute max calories, but I've never sat and said, right, 50 calories as hard as possible, because it just looks like it hurts too much.
So we're just over 2 weeks out now, guys. A question, Emily, for you. So 2 weeks out, how is your training changing now? Are you still ramping it up? Are you looking to dial it down? How does it affect you, or does it not affect you really?
At the moment, because of the open workouts, I'm still pretty intense with the training. We'll probably taper just in the last week. Again, depending on what the workouts are, I might trial a little bit of that out. But my coach will sort me out. So I just do as I'm told and I tick the boxes.
Fair one. So you've got a coach, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all. That always helps, isn't it? To get the program and the support from the coach. Aaron, have you got a coach, or are you training your own?
So I've got my own programming that I follow, and I'm pretty good friends with the coaches at CrossFit, so I'll just try and stick towards them and give them try and get as much advice from them. So that's how I usually go about my training.
And what about you, Curtis? Do you program yourself, or have you got a coach?
No, well, I was on. So all last year I was on the bespoke programming working with a coach and having stuff written for me and stuff. And then I decided to take a step back before Christmas and just back things off a little bit. And then I've just started back on a generic program. So I'm following the Brute program now. That have got a few American athletes.
Okay.
But that's going pretty well.
I've got a question for you, Emily. Just looking at, we're 2 weeks out. You know, I look at my training session today went really, really bad. And some people can get knocked from a confidence point of view. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're any less fit than what you were before. But I think confidence plays a big part in fitness, especially live fitness, being confident going into an event. For you, how does confidence play a part in your fitness and in your competition day? Are you a person that thrives on confidence, or can you deal with that quite easily if things don't go your way?
Yeah, I tend to be okay. And to be honest, I think with the open workouts having to have been timed so close, and I'm doing pretty well in that, I feel quite confident going into it anyway. I, for such a short period of time, I've only done CrossFit for about 2.5 years, coming up for 3. And I'm pretty damn confident in what I do. It will be nice to be against other women that are of the same sort of like playing field as me. That's what I'm excited for. That's my bit that will give me that little extra push.
Nice, I like that. So on the day when you're stood there and you're lined up against the people you're racing against, the music's on and it gives it the old 3, 2, 1 go, looking around knowing you're racing other people, do you thrive under that environment?
Yeah, that makes me work better for sure, because I'm like, they can't be in front of me right now.
Love that. Love that. Curtis, have you had any situations before where you've suffered from a lack of confidence in your capabilities?
Yeah, definitely. I've been pretty vocal about it before, but last year I were 5 spots away from qualifying from the games, and that wrecked my head.
Yeah,
Like I almost quit CrossFit the week after that. Then
really.
yeah, like talking to my wife and my friends at the gym, they got me back into it and they made me qualify. Well, they made me enter some qualifiers, some competitions. Then it started building back up, and yeah, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place at the minute.
It's really interesting you say that, and it's, I think, listeners, people that are listening now that maybe didn't qualify for the Arnolds this year, or maybe they're not achieving what they think they should be achieving in the Open because certain movements haven't come up that maybe suit them, or maybe they're just not in a great place mentally and think, and they're struggling. What advice could you give to them, mate, that you've been through yourself?
As bad as you feel after something's gone terribly wrong, like say, I don't know, like say a movement comes up at a competition that you can't do, like the Open last week, ring muscle ups, like half the people couldn't do them.
Yeah.
And I know from our gym, half the people didn't even show up just because ring muscle ups were there. And I were having to say to
Oh,
people,
really?
everything can be scaled, everything's scalable. We do this for fun. Just keep remembering it. I have to keep reminding myself that sometimes. But yeah, it's never as bad as it feels at the time.
We do get wrapped up, and I've been doing CrossFit now maybe 4 years, maybe 5. And you do go through phases of, I'm going to go all in, I'm going to train twice a day. I've made all those mistakes of, that's what they're doing, I should be doing. And I think we can get wrapped up in all of that. And maybe we plateau or don't see results we expect. And it can get really disheartening and can really knock your confidence. But obviously you've come through the other end now and you're competing again. You're doing fantastic in the Open, obviously won the qualifiers for the Arnolds. What, if there's one thing you've taken from that experience and into what you're doing now, what would that be that is really pushing you on now?
It's the certain things that I failed at that stopped me getting where I wanted to be,
Yeah.
that made me focus on it. Like I remember, not just even then, a few years ago, I did the European Championships, and thrusters used to be like my worst movement ever. Like hated them. And then in one of the workouts, they had 90 kilo thrusters, and at that point, my 1 rep max was like 85 or whatever.
Nice.
And I remember standing there and just looking at the bar. Like I cleaned it so many times, I just could not thruster it. And from that moment, I made it my mission to make thrusters my best movement. And to be honest, they are now. It's things like that. You need a push sometimes like that. You need to fail to know what
Yeah,
it's
you
like
do.
to build it back up,
You do.
because it's the best feeling ever when you get it right.
It really is. And I think being exposed in certain areas is a good thing. Them dumbbell overhead lunges, ring muscle ups I can do, but I can't really do the dumbbell overhead lunges from the open last week. I managed to actually do it in the end. I nearly didn't turn up, Curtis. Literally, I was like, I'm not going to go do it. There's just no point.
Yeah.
A friend of mine dragged me along, said, come on, just do it for a bit of fun. And I ended up getting through it and getting a couple of big muscle ups. And I come away so happy just knowing actually I did give it a go. I kind of had to give myself a bit of a kick up the arse for even thinking about not going, really. But we do. These are real things that happen. Aaron, how about you, dude? Is there any certain movements? We know you love the echo bike. We know you love the snatch. But what do you struggle with? And do you get disheartened by the fact that you can't do something, or do you lean into that and go, yeah, I'm going to go and work on that?
I wouldn't say I get disencouraged or disheartened by not being able to do anything. If anything, that really wants you to try even more. So probably my Achilles heel right now would be ring muscle ups. Been working really hard, and it did show in the open last week. However, it's still a big work on for me. But yeah, if something's a barrier, I'm always going to try and take it as a challenge, take it a bit more personal, and go, right, let's take this up as an opportunity to get better.
Agreed. Now, I do believe, don't hold me to this, Aaron, but I do believe ring muscle ups are coming to the Arnolds. I do believe this is happening. So keep
Is that
working
going to
on it, big
be
man.
in RX or Elite? That's the question.
Yes, that is the question. That is the question. But we will see. We'll find out possibly Monday. I don't know. Next week we're going to find out for sure. For sure. Emily, for you, is there an occasion where you've not finished a workout and you've gone, not just because mentally not strong enough, but a movement you can't do, got frustrated, or maybe you're not hitting the time you expect to do, so you want to redo it again? Is there a time where you've gone, you know what? No.
I don't think so. I'm not particularly hard on myself. And I've been a PT this is my 13th year. And I picked up all the CrossFit stuff quite quick. And I only really started competing, well, about a year and a half ago. I would say the times I've probably been most frustrated is team events. I'm probably more harsh on other people than I have myself.
It sounds to me as though you're quite independent with your mind and you want to get things done your way. And obviously, in a team event, that's a tough thing to deal with. But then again, you also need leaders that can get the team through movements. And Curtis will know that doing the team event at the Arnolds, you do need people to pull you along. It's not about being nicey when you've got a time cap. To me. So yeah, no. Aaron, have you ever competed in a live event before, or is this your first one? What's kind of your experience with your CrossFit journey so far?
So I'd say my CrossFit journey is still quite new. I've been competing ever since I started, really. That's how I got dragged into it straight away, which was quite fun.
Great.
So I've competed for about 2 years, and I've never done the Arnolds, so this would be a great opportunity. But I was at Sid last year for the teams of 12 and the individuals as well. So I'm getting a little bit more competition experience. I've done a couple of rain hills. And I quite like the competitive environment. It does bring out the best in people. But sometimes the worst if you're quite hard on yourself, which I don't think I am. I'm quite laid back, so it's there to have fun.
I quite like knowing my timings, my numbers, and my rep schemes. Aaron, when you go into a workout, if you were looking at it, do you try and break it down and try and have a plan for a workout, or are you more of a fly and die kind of person? What kind of personality do you bring to a workout?
I think again, fly and die is the fun way. However, in a competitive environment, you do need a bit of a plan. I'm not that naive to understand that plans do mean you have to follow them, and it probably will lead to success. But in a plan, you've always got to have a fallback, and sometimes, like the ring slopes last weekend, it's like, oh yeah, I can hold on to fives. Could I bollocks? No, I ended up doing singles. So yeah, planning definitely there. Strategy is always a big strength, but also be prepared to fuck the plan off and do it your own way.
Out when you have a plan and you want to stick to a rep scheme. I've had it before where you go into a workout expecting to hold X amount of reps to start with, and you're like, I feel really good. I'm just going to keep going. I feel great. And you hold a bigger set. What a stupid idea, you know? Or you got a set cadence for the echo bike. Well, like, I'm going to hold 70 for the first 30 counts, and then I'll just drift as I calm down, ready for the next movement. And you're up at 80, feeling good, you know, and you're 40 seconds in, regretting it. But yeah, Curtis, how about you? What kind of personality do you bring to a workout?
Well, first and foremost, you've got to beat your friends that you're training with. That's my number one rule in the gym.
Rule number one.
No, yeah, number one. I know it's hard to say really, because I don't know, everything's different with the way I approach things. It depends whether it's a sprint, a long one, a weightlifting event. I have different mindsets for each one. Ones that I know I'm going to absolutely annihilate everyone in, I kind of calm down a bit and start laughing and joking. The ones where I get nervous, I know I'm not typically the best at that movement, then I'll start like being more focused and staying quiet in the warm-up area and stuff. And but yeah, it's I find different mindsets for different stuff.
Again, it all comes down to I love talking to people, and this is one of the reasons why I started the podcast, is different personalities, different ways of taking on workouts, and also different ways of handling that moment of shit's hit the fan. And Emily, let's talk right now. So you're in a workout. It's the first workout of the Arnold Fitness Games. You've gone out too hot. Shit's hitting the fan. You're thinking, oh man, you just want to stop, right? Can you give me an insight into your mindset? I call it chase pain for a reason. I love pushing myself, and I like getting to that moment of, I don't want to stop or I'm going to carry on. For you, when you get to that chase pain moment, how do you deal with it? Is it self-talk? Is it closing your eyes? How do you deal with that moment?
To be honest, I don't really let myself get to that point very often.
This is CrossFit, not high rocks.
I know, that real deep hole of like really sending it. Sometimes we just pull back a little bit. But I think in like comp standard, or depending on if I'm in the gym environment and I know I've got members watching me, I'm not stopping. And it's the same like in a comp environment. If I've got friends at the end of my lane or my coach is there, I'm not stopping. No matter what hole I'm in, I'll try to get out of it.
Aaron, what about you? You know, let's talk about the Echo Bike. You're on the Echo Bike and you've got a 30 Echo Bike crowd buy-in. You've done your second part of the workout. You've got a 30 calorie buyout now. You're already tired. Your heart rate's 180. You got to get on the Echo Bike. You've got 30 calories. How do you're 10 calories in, we know what happens. How are you dealing with that moment? What are you doing in your head right then?
Well, apart from a lot of internal screaming of why have I done this to myself, just being present and reminding yourself that the pain will stop. So if it's 30 calories, like, right, just get to the next 10. That'll get you 10 closer. You've only got 20 left, and just try and break it down logically. That kind of helps me progress through some workouts. But again, just being present. Why are we doing this? Why are we in this competition? And I like to think my why is to have fun. So if I'm having fun,
I don't
fully
think those
centered
two
on
things
an
go
Echo Bike.
together.
I do. I hope there is an Echo Bike now, because I want to see you on it.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, we'll be there
I'm having
watching.
fun.
Yeah.
You know what? All the listeners here are going, when the Echo Bike is there, I'm going to make sure I'm there on the microphone, highlighting Aaron as well, that you give it the big one about the Echo Bike. We want to see it. And I trust you, Aaron, mate. I trust you. It's really interesting. It's really interesting how everyone deals with that moment differently. And I like whenever I watch fitness events, I do like, you can always see when people are in that moment, and I like seeing how they deal with it. Are they going to take their t-shirt off just because they're trying to buy 10 seconds for themselves? You know, you see that a lot. Or extra bit of chalk. They don't need it. It's just because they're trying to get that extra moment, that extra breath.
I watched a guy do an open
Curtis,
workout, and he chalked up for double unders once because he wanted to break that bad. He chalked up for double unders.
That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I've not done that before. I might try that one. Although in the qualifiers, so I'm in middle ground 45 plus. And again, I'd like to get your opinion on this, guys. I spoke to Rick Hornsey, who had programmed the workouts. So qualifier, it was a calorie row, double unders, toes to bar workout. And in my group, I had the option of going single unders, which is for double the reps, or double unders for half the amount of reps. I decided to go single unders. I can do doubles, but not very well. I'm not efficient. I hold my breath. I've got the usual problem areas. Um, do you think in that kind of middle ground area? I come to you first, Curtis, as you mentioned double unders. They should give you the option of going. You can do singles or doubles, or do you think in your middle ground you should just do doubles?
Yeah, I actually listened to that podcast, and I agree with the view that if you're in middle ground, you should be on the verge of being able, or you should be able to do double unders. I think having the option to choose between singles and doubles should be left to the scale. But yeah, the middle ground, I think doubles are the way to go.
Yeah, fair comment. Fair comment. And what about you, Emily? Do you like double unders?
Yeah, I don't mind a double under.
So a strength of yours is double unders. So I think a workout for you should be 40 double unders, 20k like a bike, 3 rounds for time.
Thanks
It's
for putting the
cool.
echo bike in.
Exactly. That's the way I put it in there. You've got a strength and you've got something, I wouldn't call it a weakness, but you've got something you don't like to do. Aaron, if you could partner anything up with double unders, what would you like to partner it up with?
Really good question. It depends on your skill set. So I'm quite confident with my shoulders. So I think really putting the RX out there, I'll probably put handstands or handstand walks. But I think the logical thing would be to split it up or lower. So maybe just double unders and box jump overs.
Can I ask you, Emily, what are you most excited about when we come to that first day? You're arriving, you're walking in, you're signed in, you've got your band, you're getting set up. How do you feel in those moments? You've been there before, as in a live event, experienced woman in that. How do you feel with those emotions? For people that are listening and maybe haven't competed live before, haven't been to the Arnolds, how do you feel going in there?
I love it. Like, it's the atmosphere is just it's what got me into doing it, is that
Okay.
everyone's there. You don't know who half these people are, and they're just
Yeah.
cheering for you at the end of a lane. Like, you could be dying and some random person's just like, get up, and you're like, okay. It's just that everyone is in the same position. Like, everyone feels nervous. Everyone's like excited to do it, but you just don't know what's going to happen. I think that's what I like about it the most. You're all in the same boat. You just got to go and have fun.
Yeah, you do. And I think a lot of us, especially going to our first live events, like a lot of us forget to have fun. And Aaron's mentioned that, Curtis has mentioned it. We do forget, because like my first live event, I want to do really, really well, put so much pressure on ourselves. And we do forget that, we're there to enjoy it. Although saying that midway through one of the workouts, we're kind of thinking why we're there, I guess. Aaron, how about you, buddy? When you're going there, first time going to the Arnolds, as it were. It is an incredible event. I mean, I've been to a lot of events in the UK. It's my favourite event I've been to in the UK. I've been to watch it once. I've competed once, and I've not been involved in a setup like it before. So shout out to Rick and Graft and sorting the event out to make it so fantastic. How do you think you're going to feel on the day going in there, buddy?
Excited. I thought there's another word for it. I'm there to test myself against myself. So I'm quite excited to see where I can push myself. I'm not worried about anyone else. That's not from an arrogance point of view. That is more just I want to see how I can do, and that's why I was alluding to before of I don't care what comes up because it's just going to be me versus me. So that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about testing me. I'm excited about seeing what I can do, not to prove anything, just a bit of curiosity and again have fun whilst doing it.
Well, the CrossFit community as a whole on a live competition day is just incredible. Curtis, for you, dude, go in there. You won the qualifiers. Is there any pressure on you there? Do you feel any pressure?
Yeah, and yes and no. It's
Pressure's
nice to qualify first. I did it last year at Strength in Depth, qualified first and finished first. But then this time I feel like I've got a bit more of a target on my back. Last year, my first year in the Masters, my first year back of really doing a lot of individual stuff. I'd done a lot of teams before then. But yeah, this year I feel like I've got my name out there in the category, and people now know to look at me to try and beat me. And it stresses me out a little bit, but I love competition. Like, if you want to have a go, I'll be there. So that's what fires me up.
So you're going to be in the warm-up area. Previously, no one really knew who you were. You're going to be in that warm-up area now. People will be looking over. There's going to be a bit of chitter-chatter going on. There's the man. He's got the target on his back. He won the qualifiers. So, how... means that can destroy some people, but some people can thrive on it. And obviously, from your point of view, you've been there, done it before, big man. So just another day at the office. That's all it is.
Yeah, well, it sounds that simple, but yeah.
You're doing really well in the Open, by the way. So I see you're top in the, is it the 35 plus again division, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's going all right.
Absolutely smashing it.
I'm looking forward to what the announcement today is going to be. There's going to be a bar in it, obviously. You can tell. I hope it's a repeat of something gymnasticy or something I've done before. Because like when you mentioned earlier, like if you practice workouts or stuff, I was thinking, I don't think I've ever done a workout the second time and done worse. So I usually do better repeating stuff.
Yeah, well, while we're on the Open then and we're talking about it, it's going to be announced in 3 hours time or so. Mm-hmm. Should we have a little guess each on the 6.3 Open workout? I'm going to go first. So I'm going to say it's going to be a repeat, and it's going to be deadlifts and burpees over the bar, 1 up to 10, 10 back down to 1. I've heard a vicious rumor going about. So, and I was thinking deadlifts and burpees anyway. There's not going to be a rower, so I've heard, only because of Wodapalooza and the fact they can't get the volume of rowers there. I think deadlifts and burpees. Aaron, what do you think?
Well, my original thought, what I've been speaking to people about, is definitely involving a rower. So it's going to be rower, burpees over rower, and then ascending weights or thrusters. So you have like an X time limit to do calories, burpees, X amount of thrusters. Rounds go up, weight goes up, and last man wins. So the AMRAP at, 100 kilo thrusters. So if I get 1, I'll be happy.
Hey, please DM me and write that workout, because that sounds really, really cool, dude. No echo bike, no. Emily, what do you think? What's on your mind for the next workout for the Open?
I'd also seen the 22.2 rumour. I've also seen that it could be 15.1 repeated, which was the 9-minute AMRAP. Yeah, toast bar, deadlift, snatch, and then into a clean and jerk, which would be great. I think it would be a shame if it's just a deadlift. Like CrossFit is Olympic lifting, right? It's snatches and cleans. So to put a deadlift in there, I think would be a disappointment, especially when workout 1, I would have said, was so accessible as well. Like deadlifts and burpees also accessible. So I feel like it'd be nicer to have an Olympic lift in there than a compound. But that's what picture 1 looks like, is a compound. So, don't know.
Who knows, eh? Who knows? We can find out in a couple of hours. So
yeah,
it should all be good. I have a lot of questions sent over to me for athletes and for the podcast, and a lot of people ask the same question, which is from a food point of view on the actual competition day. Are you someone that eats loads of food? Do you just live on Haribos and liquid carbs, or do you come prepared, everything in a little packed lunch, or do you go to the burger bar? It'd be nice to hear one of what you do. So Curtis, from your point of view, dude, to win the Arnold Games, what do you need to eat?
On the week leading up to it, absolutely everything. Because on the actual competition day, I don't really eat much. I find that I can't keep stuff down, whether it's nerves or I don't know. But the week leading up, my aim is to not feel hungry at any point. So I'm just, the calories, I'm having, twice as much rice as I'm supposed to have, really packing it in. Then on the morning, I'll probably have a McDonald's breakfast because they're amazing. And then just survive on sweets for the rest of the day.
Emily, what about you? What's kind of your competition day food routine?
I can't say I'm much better, to be fair. I'll make sure I've had a big dinner the night before. I will make sure I eat a breakfast, whatever that may be. And then, I also really struggle to eat an actual meal. I've taken food with me before, maybe had a forkful and left it, and it will just be Haribo and Monster, probably.
We all have a plan of stuff we bring. I've done the same thing
Yeah.
before, but you just don't feel like it, do you, at all?
No.
Just because of the emotions and the
And if
workouts,
there's
it
going to be
really is
5
hard.
workouts, there's not going to be time to eat in between that anyway.
No. Do you think them 5 workouts? I believe there's going to be one workout that is an A and a B, so it will be a
Yes.
double
Yeah.
workout. I do believe that. 5 workouts a lot. Aaron, what about you, dude? Food wise,
I'll tell you what I used to do. So what I used to do was just go pure vibes. So if I fancy the pizza in between workout, you've seen me. There's a photo out somewhere going around Sid with a full-on pizza I've ordered from Domino's, so that was good fun. Just to get the carbs in. However, I'm a student doing sports and exercise science, so I've now taken into account doing all this reading and doing all this research of maybe a stuffed crust pizza isn't the most wise thing to do before a max run. So I'm going to try to be a bit more logical and track my diet and try and maximize what I can do internally in regarding to fueling.
obviously put the post on today about when they're going to release them. They put the photo of the snatch on there. A couple of little teasers. If there is going to be a lifting workout, would you rather see a complex or would you rather see a ladder? Curtis, what are you thinking, buddy? Complex or ladder?
Well, it depends on the lift. Probably a complex with like a clean grip lift, or probably a ladder with a snatch.
Okay, nice. No overhead squats, right?
If I've got a Mong a couple out, I'll try. But it's honestly, it's not the most pretty thing you've ever seen.
Emily, what about yourself? Would you rather kind of a heavy complex or would you rather a ladder getting heavier each barbell?
I wouldn't mind. I like a heavy barbell. That's one of my more fortes. Like in the qualifiers, the barbell workout I actually placed in elite for that. So
Oh, wow.
I would be quite confident that my lift within RX would be nearer the top. So if we could have something heavy, then sound.
Nice. Aaron, what about you, dude? Do you want a ladder with thrusters?
I'm all for anything. Definitely a ladder. I think that has a bit more sex appeal of let's go out there and attack it. Whereas if it's like a snatch complex of like 3 snatch variations, it's not about just grip and rip. It's got to be a bit of technique. So let's go for a ladder. Let's max out. Let's get some PBs.
Actually didn't have any heavy lift of any sorts. It was actually quite a lot of burpees, but they had no real lifts. And I was like, oh man, I really wanted to lift in front of not just the people that come to watch, but just in that whole atmosphere. Because you know what it's like, you get that extra 2 to 3%, and just the vibes there is just insane. So I really, really hope this year, now I've gone up to that middle ground, there's going to be a lift of some sorts, and I do love a ladder. I think they're just really good fun, just really good for the crowd. Entertainment value is fantastic. And I think moving from barbell to barbell and you're looking across and seeing people that you're kind of against, do you pick the bar up? Do I not pick the bar up? I think they're really good events. So I really hope that they have got a ladder programmed. I do want to we're kind of just over 40 minutes in now. It's been a great conversation, guys. Thank you so much. Just quick fire questions, really. Curtis, come to you first, dude. Would you prefer burpees in a workout or air squats?
Burpees.
Aaron, have you got a favourite games athlete you look up to?
Probably anyone that's British right now. So Amy Kringle, Harry Lightfoot. I really want to support the homeboys and girls, so probably them too.
I mean, to be honest, I am excited for the Arnolds.
Yes, that's the answer I was looking for. I'm hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah, all of them are Arnolds.
And Curtis, are you staying overnight when you go up?
Go down. I'll be going to watch my friends on the team on the Friday and staying over and competing Saturday.
Superb. So I will be there on the Saturday. I'm competing on the Sunday, but I will be there on the Saturday. So during the events, after each event, I'm going to try and catch up with you guys, get some raw footage of you at the end of an Echo Bike workout, Aaron, and find out how the workouts went, what went right, possibly what didn't go right, how the day's going, how many Haribos Emily's eaten. But yeah, just to try to celebrate your day and showcase that, really. And again, it'd be really good to go through that with you guys now we've met today. I'm gonna just final question really for each of you, kind of your expectations for the day, if you have any. But Emily, brave enough, can you give me an expectation? You go there, I know you want to have fun, we all want to have fun, but have you got this kind of expectation for yourself on the day?
I'll be gutted if I don't podium.
Okay, I love that big bold
Yeah.
statement. Let's go, Emily.
Yeah.
Nice. Aaron, I know you're all about the fun, dude. I know that, okay? And I appreciate not too concerned about the qualifying leaderboard. But are you like, look, I would really love to make top 10. I think I can make top 5. What if I had to push you for that? What are you thinking?
I mean, that is a brilliant little dream to have, coming in that high. But in all honesty, no expectations. That's not me being dishonest. That's me being honest. Obviously, just have some fun and respect everyone's there. Everyone else is there to know there's gonna be really good athletes. But yeah, no expectations. Just
I like that, dude. You
keep it
didn't let me push
individual.
into it. I
Keep it
like
in your own
that,
head.
Aaron.
Don't think about anything else. Just
And
do the best you
I'm
can.
looking forward to following your day, pal. I really am. Curtis, I know you want to go there. I know you won the qualifiers. Not here to put a tiger on your back. You walk away from the Arnolds. What makes you happy when you walk away that day?
After I've stormed top of the podium and I've beat everyone there, that is what's in my head right now. Yeah, I'm not going into that competition and letting anybody think they can beat me.
Nice,
I'll tell you
mate.
now.
I love that.
It's,
Fires in the belly.
Yeah, it is, and I love it.
And these podcasts are really cool because we get to see so many different personality types, and there's no right or wrong. It's just what suits you. And I personally want to go there and really enjoy it. You know, I just looking forward to the experience. A bit like you, Aaron, I am looking forward to it. It is me versus me, but I've got a little personal challenge that I've never ever won a heat before, and that would be really, really cool if I could go into my heat and try and win that heat that I'm in my age group. That would be really, really cool. But ultimately, if I can execute the workouts, I'll be happy. But I'm sure we're going to make some mistakes along the way. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Chase Payne special episode of the Arnolds podcast. And I wish you all the best with your competition day. I hope the next 2 weeks goes well for you. I hope the open workout is good for you all. And I really, really hope there is an Echo bike so we get to watch Aaron on the Echo bike.
Can't
wait. But guys, I look forward to seeing you all on the Saturday. Listeners, thank you so much today. Please write in the comments if you've got any questions for anyone. And we hope to see you on the day itself. And don't forget to, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, please leave a review, hit the star button. It really makes a really big difference to the podcast and the reach. And this is all about positive vibes and celebrating and showcasing these amazing athletes. Guys, thank you very much for today.